Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us in this very special live. My dear friends, my dear students, I have a question for you. I have a very simple question for you. And the simple question is, all of us as teens have big dreams. We all want to achieve greatness, but there's one thing all of us question about. What can I do at this point of time to achieve that? We are so excited and grateful to have Sanjay and Shravan Kumaran all the way from USA who started their firm just at the age of 12, and today their company has downloads from over 60 countries. They have more than 12 apps, and at the same time the bigger astonishment is they are doing fantastically awesome with their studies as well. So everybody quickly write in the comment section in the live and here in the Zoom chat, welcome Shravan. Quickly everybody write. Thank you so much Shravan for joining us.
Thank you so much. We're really excited. Like so many of you guys joined. I know it's just 8 a.m. and like so many of you are so enthusiastically joining in. We're really happy to see so many of you guys on this session. Thank you so much. We're really excited to share our story with you guys, and you seem like a really great host, and like we were just talking about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much Sanjay, thank you so much Shravan. Before talking about what we can do at this point of time, everything else, at 10 years of old, I was over there in the fridge trying to close the door and see the light at the same time. I was counting the number of stars in the sky. I was trying to do all the shitty things over there, and you started your firm at that age. How is it possible? Please take us through the journey of where you started and where you have reached. What does that journey look like?
From a very young age, we've been like always very interested in like computers. I think we were like 6-7 years old, and we used to like play with computers all the time. And we actually used to play a lot of like computer games, like Need for Speed and Ashes Cricket and FIFA and everything. Like back in the day as well, we used to play a lot of games, and that's what like actually inspired us to get into computers. So
that's
like
amazing.
From a young age, so we like started to like learn about computers, and we started getting like more and more interested to like learn how to make our own games and our own apps. And that's actually what like started like we wanted to like get inspired to like build something on our own, because we had a lot of ideas for games that we ourselves wanted to create. So that's what actually inspired us.
So what I have to ask over here is, my dear champions, all the people watching this live right now, and all of our friends who have joined for this meeting, we are almost done with the seats. Everything is packed up. Live is having very great viewership at this point of time. My dear friends, I would request you one thing. Before we go ahead and talk about all those wonderful things, I promise you, this will be the best Saturday you have ever had in your lockdown period. My challenge, my promise is that, but we have to do a small favor. Quickly share this live right now at this point of time, because more people who could not join us today deserve to get the inspiration from this young, energetic, fantastically awesome people. Quickly share the live, and then we'll move ahead. Quickly share the live. Quickly. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, that's the energy. And my dear friends, all the friends watching this right now, as we move ahead, let's continue back to your journey. You said you started when you were 10 and 12, and you have reached at this point of time. Let's develop a bridge. How did the journey look like?
So initially what happened was we were really excited about like in general playing with computers, and it's basically a piece of tech that connected the entire world, right? Think about it. And so when we started developing apps, that was about 2012. And so if you think about it, at that time, mobile phones weren't as prevalent as they are right now, right?
Yes.
So if you think about it, not everyone in the world actually had a smartphone or a mobile phone. And so we had this choice whether we wanted to develop for the PC market, like develop for computers, or do we want to develop for mobile phones? So what we did was, we both knew that the potential that mobiles could possibly have in the future is way higher than the potential that computers could have, because one of the biggest advantages, mobile phone is something which you carry all the time, right? And so if you're right now we're all sitting at home, so we all have our mobile phones and laptops. But in case we're outside, right, then we would, like, in case we're outside, we don't really take our laptops outside, but we always have our mobile phone. So what we did was we wanted to tap this potential market, and we wanted to like build apps that could actually help people's life in the way that like they interact with their mobile phone and technology. And so that's kind of how we started. And so initially we all started as a game developing firm because that's something which we've always been interested in. But then slowly we also realized we could make changes and impact in people's life using the mobile phone. So if you look at some of our recent apps, we've been trying to do some of those things like that.
So actually, when we initially started with like just being like a gaming or like just building games for iOS, we were speaking to even our mom, and she was like, instead of like just building like games, why don't you actually do something that's going to be helpful? So that's when we got the idea of building like educational apps. So one of the apps that we built was the second app actually that we built on the Apple App Store is called Alphabets Board. So this was back in 2011, where we would like teach kids how to like learn alphabets. So from A to Z, like how exactly to like learn the alphabets, and also we would give them examples as well and pictures to show like what that particular object is. So for example, like the letter L, we would tell them L for lion. So and even like the voices also, me and my brother, we were the ones that like recorded it as well. So this was again when in 2011, I think we were around, I was around 9 years old, like just about to turn 10. So that's when we first built that app.
That's marvelous. But my question is simple, okay? Sanjay, I'll come back to how I started as well. But before that, I wanted to connect it with you. It is okay, right? When you are 9 years old, it is okay to just go around school, maybe read a few books, maybe pinch a little bit of people from back end, make fun a little bit, maybe make fun of your teachers and develop some fantastically awesome nicknames. Maybe it's just amazing, to play table tennis in the cricket board, anything, right? Anything can be done. Why do you go there, sit in the computer and try to develop an app? That's completely different, right?
Right. Actually, I have to tell you something. I did everything else. Like I still enjoyed with my friends, made a lot of fun in class, and even enjoyed in the ground as well, playing football in school.
And sometimes we were outstanding students. We used to come late to school every day, so that's why we're very excited that all of you guys got up at 8 o'clock and came to actually see our session. We're very, very proud of you guys.
That's so common with this end as well. I actually, when I used to go to my school, I shared this very often, that I was, every time I used to go to school, every single day as a student in class 8, 9, 10, I was beaten and I was made fun of, but I loved jolly. I loved to break all the rules. And I was that one kid who had nothing, who no one had expected would become anything. But what happened is, every time we had games period and then we have social studies period. So I had 1 to 2 mates. What I would do is that I would rub some mud over my knee, and then I would take 2 people in my back and then walk to the class. So finding innovative ways to, stay secure, but ultimately my teacher figured it out, and I had a very bad day that day. I can remember it still. But my dear champions, what we are talking about right now is that you as a young entrepreneur, or you as a young change maker, want to achieve something at some point of time. So when you get started, you don't have to leave your education. You don't have to bring major changes to your lifestyle. Small things, just little small things can bring a lot of difference. Sanjay and Shravan, when started, I loved, and when I studied about them, I found this wonderful thing. What they used to do, please correct me if I'm wrong, what they used to do, my dear champions, is that they could simply, as all of us do, they would simply live their life in school, come back home. But at the time when they could play cricket, they could switch and work in their laptops for 1 hour every day. Isn't it true?
That is actually only half true. So we actually even played cricket. So we're not like ruining your playtime in any sort. But if you think about it, right, the biggest waste of time, what do you think is the biggest waste of time for most of us, right? We
quickly
spend time
type in the comment section. What's the biggest waste of time at this point of time?
What do you think the biggest waste of your time? Studies is obviously not one. So please don't type that.
We need more flow. Comment. Yes. Sleeping more. Come on.
Guys, sleeping is actually very important for your brain development. So you should take 8 hours of sleep minimum a day. So at least for us, what is the biggest waste of time
Yeah,
was?
social media. We got it.
Yes, you got it.
Waste of time? No.
PUBG is not a waste of time. PUBG is really fun.
You are teaching them all the bad habits. I won here.
I think it's very important to also like focus on like
Creating a balance, right?
Right.
You want to like have like good amount of work and good amount of like life as well, right? So, but one of the biggest waste of time is social media, right? Obviously, you should be allowed to use social media, but it should not be an obsession, right? Where you check your phone every hour or so, and then spend the whole day just texting your friends, and so that obviously becomes a big waste of time. So what we did was in that time, right, when usually people do like chatting and stuff, my friends at
Yes, my dear friends, all of our friends who are joining us right now, we already have 97 participants. 4 are in the waiting room. We're already filled, and this is a complete room over here. My dear champions, I have a further question for all of you. You know, my question is simple. Like these guys started with coding. You know, how did you find coding as something you could work with? How you could start with?
All right. So unlike like most people, we again like started like with the basic. So we started with a programming language by the name of QBasic, which is again like the initial programming language that you can start in. So starting with like the basics of like ensuring that we're able to understand like the processes like in computer science, like before we delve into like harder programming languages, I think that was very, very helpful. Like understanding what a variable is and understanding like the different aspects in programming, which is like ensuring that we have like our basics like thorough before we move on to more advanced programming languages. I think that's very important. So starting from the bottom and slowly progressing down, progressing up the ladder, I think that's very important.
I'll say you what, okay? I'm a student going to school, maybe doing good with my studies, or I'm a wonderful, outstanding student, standing out student as well. I'm doing everything small or big with my life. What can I do right now at this point of time after this webinar to get started?
So the biggest thing is you don't really have to make a company. You don't have to like go and become a software engineer. You don't have to go and become a businessman. The biggest thing is for you to actually identify what your passion is, right? Everyone has like one passion which takes years to identify, obviously, right? It's not an easy task. But something which you could start off by doing is list the various things which you are really interested in, and then like try and figure out something which you're really passionate about and that you feel like you could make an impact on, and then identify those targets and then start working towards like creating some sort of a change, right? One thing like which we always say is like change does not like necessarily need to be the big changes or some idea like, so for instance you want to send a rocket to moon. Those are not really that is a change obviously, but that is not the change which we're talking about. A small change could be some small impact which you can make on a community within your community or within your friend circle. That itself is a change, and so that is something which you should start looking to create and actually start working on.
Yeah,
wonderful.
I think Shravan did it like very well. Like it's not about like doing like computer science, or it's not about doing like mathematics or something like that. It's about finding what you are passionate about and then doing that.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
If you're into like art, or even if you're into like journalism or something like which is very, very different, it's still acceptable and it's still a great thing to pursue.
You shared about passion, right? So I don't know what my passion is. What can I do to find my passion at this point of time?
So I think try as many things as possible. Like I think that's the best idea. Like try as many things as possible, even if it's like playing cricket, and if you like really love to play cricket, then follow that. That's your passion, right? So like do what you're passionate about, do what you love, and then it's no more work. It's gonna be like you're enjoying every single day. And that's what it is for us. Like even for me, like learning a new mathematical concept which I can apply to programming, it doesn't work for me. It's actual fun.
So beautiful. So beautiful. You know, when we ask about finding your passion, what should I do at this point of time? All the teens or the students or the elders watching this, here's what you can do. My question is simple. How did you find out what is your favorite food? Okay, you tasted foods that you did not like, you tasted foods that you love to have. Maybe that's pizza, maybe that's momo, anything. But at the same time, maybe you had karela and you did not like it at all, right? But eventually, when you had karela, when you have pizza, when you have different food at some point of time, you found out that okay, this is the food I love to have. This is the food that has the best taste that I deserve to have. So what I have to say to you is try as many foods as possible. Go, if you want to try about social work, go, there are 100,000 of social organization online and in your city as well. If you want to try out programming, man, goddamn, go to your YouTube and you'll find tutorials everywhere. If you want to try out with different things, at this point of time, you don't have to necessarily stick to one particular thing. Try to explore as many freaking things as possible. If you believe in that, if you think that's right, quickly type yes in the comment section and over here in the webinar. Quickly type yes, quickly. Wonderful. Yes, we have a lot of yes coming in the live over here as well. That's amazing. So now what I want to ask is, what does it take to be a young entrepreneur? You said you did not sacrifice much, unlike the general concept that you have to live this, you have to leave that, everything. You can simply take small initiative and get started. But at that point of time, as you shared, there are some things that you sacrifice. What did you sacrifice at that point of time?
So yeah, one thing which we sacrificed was obviously the time which we spent using social media and sometimes chatting with friends, right? Obviously that's very fun for even us, but that is something which we had to sacrifice. So like a lot of times when my friends would hang out or they'd go for movies together, like I wouldn't be there, but I knew that it was for the longer run. It was of greater good for me, right? Because like I'd actually be learning something and I'd actually be like developing myself to become a better person in the future. And so, yes, obviously there are going to be sacrifices, but you should also weigh the balance. Like at some point, you should definitely go out and enjoy with your friends, because that is also a very, very important thing which you need to do for your social development as well. But there are at times when you need to like put in your priorities aside and then actually like work towards those priorities.
Okay, my dear friends, will take.
Yes, please. You can like give up on some stuff, but like I think for us, what we sacrificed was the time that we spend on Facebook, right? Like it was 2 hours every day, like all of our friends would spend on Facebook.
That's true.
So I think that was the time that we saved. And Shravan not going to movies, that's a big lie.
No, I didn't actually.
Okay. So, we have 100 participants in the live right now. The seats are completely filled, and at the same time in the live, we have 40 people watching us live at this point of time. Every moment it's increasing. My dear friends, thank you so much. If you haven't yet shared in the Facebook, please do it. More people deserve to be inspired by this wonderful session. I am having a wonderful time, and there are so many questions. After 1 or 2 questions that we ask over here, we'll be taking questions from your comments, from your messages, and at the same time, you can also raise your hand so we can turn your audio on and you can speak. My dear champions, before we go ahead, I have this question for you, Sanjay and Shravan, okay? If you could look back from the time you have reached at this point of time and where you started, when you started at the very initial period, if you could track back to that journey from the initial days to this days, what's the one right choice that you made that make every single difference? And what's the one thing that you did mistaken probably that you would say that at this point of time, I could have done that better? Because that's a wonderful learning for all of our aspiring people who have joined this webinar and people watching us live through Facebook at this point of time.
Yeah. So I think the one thing which we did right was we found our passion very early on, right? And like all of you guys, we are also like very passionate and we're also very interested in like doing a lot of things. But finding your passion is a very, very difficult thing. And I think that's something which we just spoke about. And so I think early on, like not a lot of people like find out that, they're very passionate in something, and especially at 9 and 12. And so we kind of found that passion like at that point of time, and then we actually work towards it, right? So just finding your passion is not enough, but you need to put in hard work and effort, obviously, to like actually like do well in that passion. So I think that is something which we really did like very well. And so yeah, obviously, like mistakes, if you look back, like I always would have like 1,000 mistakes which I could list out. But the one thing which I like always feel like could have done better is like actually spend more time doing this. But like we don't have any, I mean, at least we don't have any regrets. Yeah.
You know, my dear friends, when you start now, I got this very beautiful learning at some point of time. I'll share you about my journey a little bit, okay? So what happened is when I started my journey with public speaking, with motivational speaking, with trainings and all the stuff, I was doing at a very small scale, maybe 20 people, 30 people. I got this big breakthrough when the Lance Club said to me that we loved your session, Vaibhav. You have to do this session with this college at this point of time. So as soon as the classes were over, I was there in the, it was not a very formal day. I was there sitting in the assembly place. The classes were over, people were leaving with their cycles, and there I was speaking. But they gathered at for some point of time, and there we started out. But what happened eventually is when I started my session, at that point of time, there were 300 to 400 students, and at the point I ended, guess what? There were only 20 people, all of them watching me like this. And I went back to home. I took my diary, I took note. I was very sad until my teacher, my mentor came up to me and said, Vaibhav, though only those who do fail, right? So when you fail, it's a particular reminder that you are trying. So every time a failure comes up, rather than success, failure is a very, very, very fantastically awesome as a metric to your success, how far you are moving, right? Because only right will lead to something wrong eventually. So Sanjay and Shravan, my dear champions and all of our viewers watching this at this point of time, what we are going to now do is that we are going to start taking your question. We have a question from, there's a question over here from Yatish Aryal who says that, well, that doesn't work always, as Nikola Tesla tried till death but did not still find his main aim. So trying different things does not work. I'll take your perspective first on this, Sanjay. He's quoting. I hope you got the question there.
Right. So I don't think Nikola Tesla was a failure in any sort of way. I think he was one of the most successful, like to bring in like AC and DC current. He was like one of the best in his field as well. Like the only reason we're able to have like our appliances and electric appliances today is because of his work. So I don't think he's anything close to a failure. I think it was due to like the war between him and I think it was Edison. Yeah, Edison. So it was him and Edison. Like they both were trying to like figure out like they both had like their own ideas to like how the current should be. And I don't think that Nikola Tesla was a failure in any way. I think it was because of Thomas Alva Edison having a lot of political strength. He was able to like. I think that's more of like the historical background.
Beautiful. I was actually astonished. He put such a big contribution, but he's never so much recognized. You know what? He actually gave fame. He was there because he wanted to add value, and there's nothing wrong about it. It's about you, how you define your success. For Nikola Tesla, it was at that point of time that I want to make world a better place. For Edison, it was about, it was about having fame. I don't want to look for any personal benefit. He died broke, there's no doubt about it. But at the same point of time, no matter what, he has brought a difference, and it's only because what he has done that we have this Zoom up to some extent happening, isn't it? So, there's a metric.
So, I read just to add on to your point, I think Vaibhav very well said it. So I don't think money should be your motivation, right? Don't think like, I want to become an entrepreneur just because, I see like Bill Gates has so much money. Like not everyone is Bill Gates, but like Bill Gates never did it because he wanted to get the money. He did it because he was really passionate in creating technology that people could use and people could really benefit from. So work on your passion, right? Even if your passion is to help people, that can definitely be a passion, right? You're not going to get money back, right, by helping others, but that definitely is a passion, and that's something which you could work towards.
Right. And actually about him not getting support, actually he was working under Thomas Alva Edison's lab, like Tesla itself, but he was actually part of part of like the innovation with Thomas Alva Edison, and he was part of his team. So that was also like really cool to like look into that part of history as well.
Okay, we'll move into different sections of questions right now. We are now taking questions from Facebook Live, and you can raise your hand. We can take in your questions. I'll check if anybody has raised the hand. Yes, here for webinar. My dear friend, we are unmuting you. You can ask your question over here. Okay, I think there's some issues connecting over there. No issues. We have a question over here that's coming up from our friend over here. He's asking at this point of time that billionaires are billionaires because they added values to lives of people, followed by money and fame. There's a very good concept about money and fame and all those stuff when we talk about. But I have a simple question for you, Sanjay and Shravan. Okay, you started well, but things kept on happening. Did you ever see that here is where I want to reach and it's from here? And at the same time, let me request everybody to quickly type your question. We'll be addressing that very soon.
Hi, my voice is connected. So can I ask my question?
Yes, please.
I do understand that we should be following our passion and finding it. So I feel like I also have some sort of connection towards computer science, and I have been following it. But now that I know what I want to do, I want to actually create an impact on my community. So how did your journey of making an impact in the community start? Like it doesn't happen just by knowing your passion. You need to find connections. You need to get your stuff out in the world. So how did you manage that? Could you provide some pointers? Thank you.
Right. So I think there was three parts for us to connect with our community. Number one was to come up with ideas that like actually problems that are currently faced in our community, and then try to solve those problems. So I think one of the apps that we worked on goes by the name of Boardinate. So in that app as well, we were trying to like look at the problems that are around the community and then trying to fix those problems. And the second thing is, another thing that we were able to use to our advantage was the upcoming Apple App Store at the time. So with the App Store, we were able to connect with a lot more like people around the world, and people could just download our app through the App Store by just like looking up our particular app. Because previous to that, like there wasn't any App Store as we know today. So that was also like played in our favor. Another, I think one of the most important is that you have to like interact with the community and find out exactly like what problems that they're facing, and then try to come up with technological solutions for them. So like having that ideation process of trying to get problems and then try to solve them, I think that's very important.
Okay, everyone, I want you to quickly write yes or no. The question is, do you believe in what we shared right now in the Facebook Live? We have more than 30 people watching us live right now, more than 90 people, 95 friends who are in this seminar session right now. Do you believe that's right? And then we had a very beautiful question right there. Such a beautiful question. I loved it. It says that I found what I love to do, but my expertise is into something else. I love to do something, but let's say I'm good at cooking, I'm good at programming, but I love cooking. So what should I do?
Right.
I think that's actually a very difficult question, right? So yeah, expertise is obviously very important, but I would say, like, at least for me, if you think about it, right, you can't, like, if you hate something, right, if you hate, or if you don't enjoy doing, like, say, cooking every day for the rest of your life, you got to think of it in the big picture, right? Like, you don't want to really do it for the rest of your life. So instead, working on something which you're really passionate about, right? If you're passionate about something, you should put in the hard work and try to develop that expertise on it. And so that's kind of how I think we both would view that particular scenario.
Okay, let me add one more perspective to that, if you allow.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So what I say, at most point of time, Yes, I think there were some internet issues. No issues. At most point of time, these situations sometimes happen. But what my question is, let's say you are passionate about computer programming, right? But at some point of time, you are stuck with something else. Maybe you are stuck with cooking or any example. You might be very much into studies, or you might be very much into something else that you don't like to do. So my advice, or I won't say it advice, one thing that we can do is simply very simple. All of our students, this scenario is going to come to your life where you are doing something or you expertise in something, but you love to do something else. So what's the quick suggestion? Let me not share you. Yes. So my little suggestion over there would be something completely different. What I would say you is that you start simply with doing what you do everyday work, but find out some time, some moment where you can pursue what you love to do. It could be, let's say, programming. If you have an 8 hour of work you are doing, find out the rest 8 hours, maybe 2 hours, dedicate into the other field which you love to do, and slowly and gradually try to find out a way when you can completely translate this thing into that thing. And most of the time, isn't what you develop as an expertise a moment of time? When you do it, eventually you had developed that expertise, and when you do the other thing, what you love, as per time goes, you can develop expertise for that as well, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so we
point.
have hands raised. We have a hand raised over here. I'll take the questions from here. The question over here is from Pratham Jain. Please share the journey, how your interest made on it particular, because sometimes learning new things also make us give up due to difficulty in it, and how was the support from your family about it?
Oh yes, okay. So that's very good question, right? So yeah, definitely I would say put in a lot of hard work, right? Put in a lot of hard work and keep doing things until you fail. But you should also realize at some point when you're failing, at some point that could also mean something, right? So that you don't continue to waste your time forward, right? So for instance, like you keep putting money into say a company X, and that company keeps like giving you a loss, right? And if you keep going ahead and investing on it, you at some point you will probably just get bankrupt, because there is really no potential value for that company to go further. So I think it's very important to like not give up, but at the same point you should also realize there is a point where you would have to give up. And I don't know what that point is, but that's a very specific part. But you should also realize that there's an importance in that.
I think it's just about like looking back upon your failures and then finding out where the error happened and try to fix the failure. Like that's all that you can do. And yeah, I think like that's the best part. And the second part of your question was about like the support that we get like from family and friends. I think that the support that we got was really awesome. Like our parents like did support us as well, but we didn't like rely on them for the entirety of our support. We ensured that we were able to like push ourselves and like show that we were actually able to do something with computers. Like we didn't initially go to them for help and support, but we were able to first analyze and understand like what we are bringing to the table and what we're able to do with computers. Only then did we go to them.
Beautiful. But it's about taking initiative on your own, isn't it?
Right, absolutely.
So wonderful. Every single person quickly type in the comment section of the live, and right now in the Zoom webinar, quickly write down over here initiative. Write down initiative quickly. We want as much interaction as possible, because we want to have as much freaking fun as possible. This must not be a monotony for any one of you. That's my resolution. That's the promise I've come up with, that I have to give you the best Saturday of the lockdown. Okay, a lot of comments over there. My dear friends, now we are taking questions from your end. There are many questions coming up over here as well. We have a friend raising hand, Ayush Bhagat over here. Ayush, okay, Ayush wants to ask a question. Ayush, are you here?
Yes.
Ayush, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining. Please ask your question.
When they were small, they know how to create a game.
Okay, that's actually a very innocent question. I think our friend is from class 7, 8 younger. Thank you so much, brother, for still joining. The question is very simple over here. Did you learn computer programming as a very initial stage?
Actually, that's a very good question. So the way we started was we found our passion, right? So now that you found your passion, what we did was we actually bought a lot of books about computer science, and then we read up and learned about some of the important programming languages which are there. And one more thing which is very important, which I saw someone mention in the comment, is someone you need to get like a sort of mentor, right? So for us, our mentor was kind of like our dad. So our dad, he also is a software engineer, and so he said that he like helped us through the stages of learning actually like how exactly a computer works, and he helped us like and guided us on which books to buy to learn and like better improve our skills as a computer programmer. And so then we started like basically buying a lot of mobile development books, because at that time the internet was not like this, right, where we can just type up something and then we can immediately see 10,000 results and then we can just watch the next YouTube video. So we had to read a lot of books to actually understand how exactly like programming on a different environment for the mobile platform was, and it was definitely very challenging at that point of time.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely agree with Shravan. I think like currently like you guys are extremely like lucky to like just have so many like YouTube and like different methods like learn online. Actually, when we were initially like learning, we had to like buy like a bunch of books, and we had to like read them like completely on our own, which was a lot harder than what it is today. So you guys have to like take advantage of like the resource of the internet and ensure that you're like utilizing all of like the different resources.
Wonderful. How many of you over here have heard of Elon Musk? Quickly type yes or no. Quickly type yes or no. Okay, we have many yes, a few no coming in over here. Okay, so let me share you. He's in a mission to send human to Mars. He has sent first of its kind, rockets into the moon as well. You know how he learned about rockets? He had his firm ready. He had sold his previous company, and then he went to a Russian company saying that I want to buy a rocket from you, and they proposed a price of $8 million. He's like, what the heck, that's too much, I cannot afford that. He did not say that, but every single of the people in the boardroom said, kid, you find that price too much? He actually made a resolution that day that I am going to send my own rockets. He was back in the airplane. He had no freaking idea about making rockets, but he read tens and hundreds of books, and here we have a human in the world who is sending human to Mars anytime soon. So if you have the willingness to learn, there are 100 million sources. There's one suggestion I would definitely give you. Block out time every single day, like you do for brushing, like you do for any single thing, to learn and develop yourself as a person. I have a fixed day that every single day I'll do at least 2 courses through Skillshare, through Udemy, or anything else, because no matter what you're doing right now, there's so much more to do. And you know what? I'll tell you a sad truth. Okay, I'll tell you a very sad truth. You know what, my dear champions? If you don't do anything in life, if you live a normal life, if you go for a 9-to-5 job, if you complete your education with normal grades and live like that and then die, nobody would give a damn. Your parents love you, okay? Your parents love you so much. Every people you think of, your friends would love you the same way. You have to take the initiative, because ultimately life is completely dependent on you. You and only your initiative can bring a lot of difference. We share wonderful things like this in a completely activity-based pedagogy in our seminars with students called Super Champ Tunnel. We'll share details to you soon, and I'm sure you'll join. There's a very beautiful question here came up in a while ago. The question was actually something I liked. The question was, I feel very afraid to do what I want to do. Let's say I want to become a pilot, but I'm very afraid to fly in the sky. What do I do? Okay, let us hear from Shravan first, and then I'll add up to that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, the question is that I have a dream. I think I found out something I want to do, but I'm afraid to pursue it. What can I do? Everyone, quickly type in the comment section and the webinar part, fear. Type fear.
So yeah, I mean like if you're definitely scared, right? Like everyone is scared, right? Especially while taking new initiatives. Obviously, we will feel scared. But the whole point is like, I think once you start doing it like slowly and taking step-by-step initiatives in order to become a pilot, I think at one point you yourself will overcome that fear itself.
Yeah, I think what he's talking about is perseverance, which is like persevering through like the pain, persevering through the fear till you get to the goal, whatever you like.
Yeah.
So everybody now type persevere, like that's the word. Yeah.
Wonderful, beautiful. We have another host from that side as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. So, my dear friends, let me show you some really wonderful instance from the Mahabharata. How many of you know Mahabharata? Mahabharat? Type yes. Quickly type yes. Yes, there is a lot of yes over there. So let me share you something really amazing that happened in Mahabharata. There was Arjuna ready to go into the battlefield, but he was really afraid, feeling like, should I do it? You know, these are my brothers and sisters. Should I still go to the war? And there was Krishna in a chariot. Krishna said something so amazing. Fearful was, you know, Arjun was trembling with fear. Okay, and Arjun asked Krishna that, hey Krishna, okay, I know I have to do this, but I'm really afraid to do it. I'm really afraid. Should I do it? And Krishna said, you're feeling afraid, right? It's not about not having fear. It's about having the fear, but doing it anyway. And then Arjuna committed to himself that from that point of time, every single point of time when he was fearful, he used to say, मैं भयभीत हूँ, लेकिन मैं अपने भय को, अपनी शक्ति को कुड़िदने नहीं देता. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. You feel the fear. If you are not feeling the fear, there's some technical difficulty with you. It's okay to have fear. It's amazing to have fear. And my dear friends, I always use fear, you know, every single day as I wake up, I try to see that I am, you know, there's a very beautiful advice, a very beautiful thing I'm saying to all of you teens, very deep as well. If you imbibe, there's a complete transformation coming up at this point of time. Listen to this as freaking carefully as possible. My dear champions, I'll show you something amazing. You know what? You are going to die one day. Okay, 99% of the people have dreams that I want to have this, I want to do that. The biggest motivation in the world, beyond all the techniques, beyond the big seminars I do, is one thing. You know what? The biggest motivation for you is you are going to die. Okay, you are going to die. One day you are going to die. You are going to leave the world. There are two choices. Okay, you have a choice of fears over there. My dear champions, you have a choice of fears over there. You have a choice to be feared the failure, or you have choice to fear the regret. Okay, and my dear friends, I always say to myself, the pain of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. Okay, feel the fear and push through it. Okay, try to change your self-talk. So when you are in that deathbed, a research from London says that 95% of people die with regret, and that's the biggest pain. Most of the people choose into the default mode of pain, that is the pain of regret, when you can choose the pain of walking. There's a pain of sleeping. When you are asleep, you feel that why did I sleep? Or there's a pain of walking. You can choose the pain of walking and make all the difference. Feel the fear and freaking do it anyway. Okay, we have many other questions.
That's really well said. That's really well said, Vaibhav.
Thank you so much.
Very inspirational.
We have another set of questions. There are so many chats going on at the same time. I have a lot of questions. So many yes, no. Thank you so much, everyone, for interacting in such a beautiful way. Okay, here is the question. You mean to say think big so you fear your fear seems small. Yatish, that's such a beautiful comment. Okay, you meant to say that think big so that the fears feels small. Think big so that the fears feels small. That's a very beautiful idea over there. I'm picking that for myself as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have another set of questions. 3 of our friends have raised the hand. I'll address your question over here. Okay, so let me take your questions. Okay. Okay, perfect. Here we have a question. The question is coming in from our friend. Okay, Yunish has raised the hand. Yunish, I'm unmuting you. You can share what you want to say. Yunish, you are now unmuted.
Thank you, Vaibhav.
Yes, I think you have
And
some
my question
internet
is here.
issues. Yes, perfect.
Can you hear me, Vaibhav?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? This question is for Sanjay and Shravan.
Yes, please tell us.
How do you
I think there are some issues with
find your passion? How to find your passion? What is inside you? How to find?
Okay, we got the question. Our friend has some internet issues. His question was, how do I find my passion?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we talked about that a little bit. Let's
we
hear
already
more.
went over it. So basically, what we were mentioning was, what we mentioned was try a lot of different things, right? And then keep trying, right? That's very important. Like there are so many things in the world which we haven't tried yet, so we really don't know how we feel about it. And so you need to keep trying the various things. If you're interested in cooking, if you're interested in arts, if you're interested in playing cricket or basketball, try all those things. And whichever you're very passionate about, put in a lot of hard work. And whichever you find very interesting, and whichever you find like you could feel and make an impact within the community, in that's something which you are probably very passionate about.
Right. So try as many fields as well. I think that was another point that we went through. Like try as much of stuff as possible, so that you can analyze and find out like which one do you like.
Okay, we have question from Sandeep Katel sir over here. Sandeep Katel sir, we have unmuted you. Please ask your question.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello?
Yes, please share your question here, sir.
Okay, my question to Sopan and Sanjeev. So that it is often said that billionaires have often said that the schools and the education system have always been the constant on the way to their success. So when at the age of 9 a person is supposed to be pampering around parents, playing around parents, you had started a software company. So did it ever happen to you that you are facing some constraints by your school and education system for your work?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the last part.
At the age of 9 you started the company, the software company, and at the time when the children are supposed to be pampering around parents, playing around them, doing something else that they want, you started a software company. And what it is said that the school and education institution, they have been the greatest constraint on the way to becoming success, because they always teach you that failure sooner be done, failure is the way to shameless activities. So has it ever been to you that your school or education system stop you from going into the path of success?
I don't think that's true. I feel like the education system is there to like support you, and it's a great tool. Like if you want to become a software engineer, even if you want to create your own company, you can go through like the process of education to like reach anywhere that you want. I mean, there is a system, there is a ladder. You just got to keep climbing it. Or doing well on your exams, getting good grades will set you up to a good university, which you can further, push yourself. So it need not be that you have to like get into something else like right now, but I think that the education system is there to help and aid you. Although at times it does seem like kind of counterintuitive to give you like unnecessary information, and sometimes it may not seem as important as it is, but I think it truly is a great resource that you can use to your own full extent. Like there is a school system, so you can like study well, do extremely well, and go anywhere that you want using that.
Okay, so Alison has a question over there. What do you think about luck?
I think that's a great question, because I think that makes us think for everybody as well, right? Would you able to like reach where you are because of luck? And I think there is no denying that like luck is a massive factor in everything. But you can beat the odds of luck as well. Like if you even like look at Chris Hadfield, like in one of his book, who's a great astronaut from Canada, who was part of like the International Space Station and like multiple like launches as well. So he said that whenever like they're flying in a rocket and trying to like go for a next mission, they like never cross their fingers and try to like hope for the best. They try to like look at every single situation and try to ensure that percentage of them succeeding is higher than anything else. So that's what they focus on, and it's not about like, they don't like look at luck as the main factor, although it is a factor. They try to work on things to be like, they work on stuff like so hard that they ensure that luck doesn't play them, right? So they're able to play luck basically.
Beautiful. You know what? I'll tell you something more. Sanjay had such a beautiful idea over there. Let me share you one amazing thing over here. I'll sure. Now listen to this very carefully. Eh? What I say is, as Sanjay mentioned, luck plays an important role. Indeed, luck plays a very beautiful role and a very important role in your success. But when you take initiative, when you do the hard work, your odds and likeliness of being lucky increases, because you put yourself into more and more situations where you can get lucky. Now, let me give you a small example. Let's say you want to start your software company, for example, or let's say you want to start developing software, right? But you don't know what you have to do, right? Now what you do is that you take initiative, you do the hard work, and then you go to conferences, you participate in conferences and try to learn from those conferences. Now what happens in that conference, you find someone over there in the conferences who is someone really amazing and can help you with your further process. Now there you got the luck, but you only got that luck when you took the initiative to go to that conference, isn't it? So when you do the hard work, the odds or the luck of getting lucky increases, right? So that's a very beautiful idea over there.
Right, absolutely, Vaibhav.
Okay, so Vinusha is asking us, my question is mentor important for startup? Let me tell you something about Vinusha, Sanjay and Shravan. She's a 10-year-old girl from Bangalore who runs her company called Four Seasons Pastry. She sells pastries, like 5 to 10 pastries every single day, and she's one of the youngest chef and entrepreneur in India. She's only 10 years old, and this little girl always inspires me. Her question is, are mentors important for startup? I think we have another Sanjay and Shravan in making.
You come from the same city where we come from. We are also from Chennai and Bangalore.
Right. So I think like mentors are very important, and if you're lucky enough to find one, I think it's great to like use their advice and ensure that you're able to like understand and like ask them questions. And if you're anytime like facing a problem as well, it's like really I mean, you'd be like very, very lucky to have a great mentor who you could ask questions about, like including if the mentor is in the food industry itself, or if they are like into baking as well. You could ask them like particular questions or problems that you face. For example, like say like making the icing more creamier, or if like that's a problem that you're facing, you could go ahead and ask your mentor. So I think that's very important. But for me and my brother, I think we were very lucky to have each other, right? So for example, if I had a problem in programming, instead of the icing, it would I could have like say a program in like the front end of the application that we're building. So when we're doing that, I could go to Shravan and ask him particular questions in that. So I think having like another person, it need not even be a mentor, but somebody who's in that field who can speak to is quite important, and you could use it as a great resource as well.
Wonderful. Quickly, everybody type in the comment part, in the chat part, mentor, mentor, mentor. Quickly type over there. And I'll come back to Vinusha's further question. She asked, should mentor be from the same field? Well, depends on what skill and what help you want. Let's say, Vinusha, you are an amazing chef already and you need someone who can help you with business. I'll tell you a secret, okay? I'll tell you a real secret. No one would tell you very easily. Do you want to hear it?
Yes, absolutely, Vaibhav.
Okay, so So yes, we have comments coming in as well. Yes, my dear friends, I'll tell you what. Okay, when you are young, people think that it's hard to get started as young and as a teen. But I'll tell you a fantastic secret. No one else tells you. As a teen, my mentor Abdush Mia had said me once that Vaibhav, being young comes as a very amazing benefit. You know why? Because it's very hard for people to tell you no. You getting me there? Let's say you are just 12 years old, 10 years old, you want to do something in your life, you want to go with starting your own, let's say you are running your pastry company, right? When you are young, 10-year-old, just imagine a 10-year-old girl writes a mail to $1 million CEO saying that, sir, I'm 10 years old, I'm trying to do this and this, you have achieved so much, you have inspired me, could you please help me with XYZ thing? 90% of the times they will see that, and believe me, at least 30 to 40% of the times you'll receive a response. When you can find a opportunity to physically meet them, there's something really amazing. As a teen, that's a very big competitive advantage to anyone who's older and who wants to achieve something else in life. It's very simple, my dear champions. When you are a teen, it's very hard for people to say you no, isn't it? So we have a question from Nosad Alam. He says, how do I find what I have to succeed in? His question is, what's the perfect way to achieve success? Believe me, there is no perfect way to achieve success. And there shouldn't be any perfect way to achieve success, because every single person who has achieved their journey has come with so much of tanglements that the perfection never really existed. It's about the journey of making mistakes and doing. Please, Sanjay and Shravan, please add perspective to that.
I was just going to say the same thing. So there's not one set of defined rules which define success, right? Everyone's success standard itself is different, right? So if say I was working towards making, like say I'm staying in a neighborhood, right? And I really want like everyone in my neighborhood like to have a great festival, or like to be very happy, right? I can just take small steps towards creating a very happy community where, like, you know, like we have different events and host those different events, and as long as those are successful, I would be happy, and that is my success, right? Or if I want to be a $1 billion CEO, reaching my $1 billion mark, that is my success. So
wow.
Everyone's success is different, and everyone's path to success is also different. So there isn't a specific way to reach success, but the thing with success is that you should basically reach whatever you've targeted and goal, like whatever was your goal.
And at the same time, how many of you know Nike? Quickly type yes if you know what Nike is. I'm sure all of you know. Phil Knight was a person who started Nike from his garage, and he used to say this always, okay? Believe me, my friends, you should never succeed, okay? Because this is what he said. He said that, he said that keep moving until you reach there and never question where there is, okay? So you keep moving, you start doing things, you achieve one place. Whenever you feel that you have succeeded, that's when you begin to fail, isn't it, Sanjay?
You're right, absolutely. I completely agree with Vaibhav.
So it's about the journey, you enjoy the journey, you make mistakes, you keep on going, and that's how you develop yourself as a person. We are in the last 10 minutes of today's session. My dear friends, there's a very funny thing again. Sandeep Patel sir writes, Alibaba, Google, Amazon, Nike all started from garage. Let's say I don't have a garage. What do? I can't build a $1 billion company over there.
In fact, even Apple started off from a garage, actually. Yeah. So, but yeah, you don't need a garage. Is basically a place like literally nothing, right? It's just like, you just have a room, a bunch of computers, a bunch of tools, which you could basically create something great out of. And so for us, like, you don't really need like a garage for it. You just need that passion to work on that idea, and you just need a lot of motivation and a great bunch of people to work on that idea.
Right. So I don't think it's the idea of the garage. I think it's more of like having the idea. Like that's what's most important.
Yeah. That was just a humor part over there, I believe. So my dear friends, You know what? In Sanjay and Shravan, we do this program called Super Champ, where we have students coming in every week, where where they learn on their own skills like fear, skills like how to fight your fear, skills like how to go beyond fear, you know, skills to fight your anger, skills to discover where you want to reach in life, skills to get started in a completely fun and game-based way where they enjoy every single moment of the 2 hours every Saturday, learn. And we have had students after 12 weeks, they have called us crying, say that parents have called us crying, say that my daughter is a completely different person now, what should I do? Every single transformation can come up because it's about developing the skills. Okay, life is not a fixed point. There are two mindsets over there, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. When you develop the growth mindset, you say to yourself that there's so much things to learn, there's so much to develop. When that mindset comes up, there's no limit to anything you want to achieve, and that's what we teach and train in our programs like Super Champ. We have last 5 minutes over here. We'll take 2 questions and then we'll have the final note. Thank you so much everyone for joining us. The next 2 questions are coming up over here. The question over here, my dear champions, is coming up over here from our Facebook Live. The question is that what advice would you give to a young teenage person? What can I do right away after this session if I want to achieve big things in my life?
So yeah,
that's a great question.
I think that's a great question, and that's something which we get all the time. And so I think the biggest thing which you guys should take away from from what we've been trying to say is like follow your dreams, right? And like make sure you're very interested in whatever you do, right? I think that is at the end the most important thing, because see, if you're not interested in whatever you do, you feel like it's work. But whereas the thing which you do should be completely like your passion, and you should be doing it because you enjoy it, right? Vaibhav is today an MC because he really loves being an MC, and he loves like teaching and imparting people knowledge. So definitely keep like working towards finding your passion, and like put in a lot of hard work also, right? That's very important. Only then can you actually truly succeed.
Okay, we are almost at the end, my dear champions. We'll take one question that's coming up from Anuj Acharya. Anuj Acharya, we have unmuted you. Please ask your question.
My question is a very simple question. For example, if you have a passion of doing something, but in some of the developing countries like our country, Nepal, we have a burden of books from the school curriculum and from our parents as well. Then how will you overcome this problem to follow your passion in your life?
I think one thing is very important, like don't like neglect your studies and all. You have to like still study a lot for both your schools. So this is all like just going to be additional. So all we're asking for is like about like 2 hours of your time almost every day to like work on this as a side thing. But the rest of the time you have to spend on studies, or even if it's extracurricular activities for your school, like in sports and all. But you have to focus on your studies and do this as a side. So I think that's very important that I guess we're going to be mentioning again, which is like this is all like just a side stuff, like apart from your general schooling. Like I mean, because school and stuff is what helped us even get into university here in the US as well. Like if not for it, we wouldn't have been able to come here. So I think that's still extremely important, and you have to focus both about your school and keep this only as an extra activity.
Beautiful. How many of you believe that our education system today is something that is completely freaked out? It's not nice. Quickly type yes or no. Quickly type yes or no.
Yes, please, come on.
Quickly, yeah, that energy. Yes, so many. Yes, no, it sucks. No, no, yes, yes. Okay, I'll tell you something, okay? I'll tell you something really amazing. I always believe that our education system is worse. I should not put time in studies, this and that. But until I learned this one perspective, every single thing changed. The way I look at studying and education completely transformed. You know what, my dear friends and champions watching this right now? Maybe your education system sucks. Maybe what you are being taught is of no use in the future. But when you sit in the chair and study the hardest of subject, when you try to solve the maths question that has been freaking you out for the last 30 minutes, when you are able to go through those 30 minutes, persist and do what you don't want to do but is necessary for you, when you develop that kind of mindset, it's not about actually the studies and what you learned sometimes. It's about what you learned in the process of learning that, okay? It's about the resilience you develop, that no matter how boring it is, I will keep studying, you know. I'm sure Sanjay and Shravan would agree that in the process of entrepreneurship, many times you don't feel like doing, but you have to push yourself through it.
Yeah,
Right, absolutely.
I can't agree more, because yeah, there are a lot of things which are boring and mundane, right? Like, you know,
Like chemistry. Yeah.
no, but like on a more serious note, right? Like we also have like a lot of things, right? Whenever we face while programming, we get these things called bugs, which means that there's some defect in your program. And so whenever we get that, and solving that has always been very boring and like has been very time consuming, and you actually spend more time solving those bugs rather than actually writing a new app. And so so putting in through like trying to figure out and finish that frustration, you can actually like once you get past that, you'll actually find that it's actually very rewarding right at the end. And that's kind of how education is. Once you actually pass out school, you'll realize that it's very rewarding and you actually learned a lot of things.
Exactly. So Chirag sir is asking from Facebook Live, kindly define big thing, please. It's completely subjective, you know. You can see a seed, you can see a tree in the seed, you can see a complete forest in the seed, or you can see a complete world that originated from one seed in that particular seeds. So when you ask about defining big thing, so it's completely about you, your choice of seeing big things. And believe me, no matter how big you see, there's one bigness yet to explore, isn't it? So we are coming to the last part of the question. Now we are talking about the actionable step that we are going to take. The actionable step, okay? The webinar is ending over here, my dear champions. We'll end the webinar very soon in a very small time. But what are you going to do once we are done with this webinar? What's the one initiative that you are going to take? And many of you have had the similar question that I have a goal, but what can I do? My dear friends, let us hear from Sanjay and Shravan about what we can do as this webinar ends so that we can start our journey of achieving goals.
So the reason why even Vaibhav hosted this event was to impart the knowledge and what we have been trying to say to you guys. And so if you guys have just listened to this webinar and just go back home and then still continue like just using Facebook, Instagram, and then spending away your time chatting. So we don't want you guys to do that. Our basic actionable item that we want to give you is find something which you could actually do in the time that you actually spend whiling away time, right? Like whiling away time in the sense that playing outside is not whiling away time, because that is actually helping you develop as a person. Studying is not whiling away time. The extra things which you do, right? You just sit down, scroll through Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat. Those are some of the other things which we feel are like kind of whiling away your time. Within that time, what can you do that could actually make an impact or that can actually help you develop as a person? That is your actionable item, which I think we both would be telling you guys to do.
Right, and the second thing is to like find your passion, ensure that you're trying out everything and find out exactly what you want to do, and try spending as much time as possible on it. Like right now we're in quarantine, so we have like a lot of time as well in our hand. So we can spend all of like this time to start working on what we want to achieve as well. So find out like what goals you want and define success, what that means to you, and then try to achieve it.
Amazing. We are in the last minute over here. Take your notebook and note down what you're interested into. Bang on to the social media, bang on to all those stuff, and go into the Google, go into the YouTube, maybe go to the skills and try to develop the skills and get started one at a time. Know what you're doing. Make a physical list, and that's going to make a lot of difference. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining today's very special webinar. Thank you so much. We are really grateful because of you joining this webinar. This was one of our very most watched webinar. Thank you so much, Sanjay and Shravan. But one request, just before you leave, go to your Facebook, share this webinar, because more people deserve to be inspired by this, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. We'll come up very soon with some amazing guests in the next episode of Champion in Making, isn't it? And make sure you check our Facebook page, because next time we have Nepal's #1 motivational speaker. Yes, I'm talking about none other than, I think you have guessed it very right, It is Sonak Bhatta coming in the next webinar with us. I'm sure you will join and help yourself get enlightened. We'll share you the link in the Facebook page of Success Society International. Sonak Bhatta will join us. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Sanjay and Shravan. We love you. Keep doing the wonderful work you are doing. And we wish you reach at the very top and keep inspiring the world to become a better place.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye. Can I ask the last question?
I think the time of the Zoom session is over. So even if you ask, actually, the things will go down. The Zoom will uninterruptedly enter. So you can share the question in the Facebook Live, sir, and we would love to address it. Please don't mind about it. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. Thank you, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
But make sure you can watch this in YouTube as well. Go to Vaibhav Nahata official YouTube channel and you can find it over there. Makalu Television, Monday 2 p.m. 7 p.m. you will find it there as well. Go to YouTube to Vaibhav Nahata channel and you'll find wonderful content there as well. This webinar as well will be uploaded over there. Thank you so much. Have a fantastically awesome time. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, Sean.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Sean.
Bye bye everybody. Thank you.
Bye.